Hello everybody. I am Darkness Among Us, and today I've got a special treat for you. Now, if you've read the title, you already know what this is about, but I'm going to explain it anyways. So, a few weeks ago, I came across what I think is some of the most entitled survivors I've ever come across. Now, a little context before this match, I'm going to complain a little bit as the match starts, and the reason for this being I have already come across, as of that day, a ton of Go Nexters. People who tried killing themselves on Hook because, I went down first. Oh, I didn't get the map I wanted. Oh, the killer countered my perks. Oh, I don't like this killer. So on and so forth. And I was getting a little exasperated, which you'll be able to hear in my voice. Without further ado, let's begin. Hey, we got the map you wanted. Are you gonna be happy about this, or are you still gonna throw a tantrum? Fuck. Now, at that moment, you could hear the Ada, or somebody, running behind me to try and get my attention away from this person. Well, I'll tell you what we are doing. Shift W. That is most unfortunate. Pay attention to this scene. This will be on the test later. As you can see, she's extremely good at running this. Now, I will say right now, they brought a map offering. They wanted to come here, and it's no secret why. First down at 1 gen. They were comfortably ahead at this point. They have brought map offerings, they have brought all the items they wanted. I am not running any real slowdown perks. They are running a lot of really good perks. Thank you. She made a critical error here in dropping this pallet when I wasn't going to commit to the hit. Now, this is where the match takes a turn, and it takes a turn in my favor. As you could see, she ran right towards me. She wants to take a body block hit so that I can't chase the unhooker who took a hit for her to unhook. She makes a mistake here. now, for her altruism, her entire team has paid and they have 2 slugs, 1 injured. This is not a good look. So, when she knows that her BT has worn off, she then dead hards, in the most telegraphed double endurance I have ever seen in my life. There you go. GG's. Note that somebody else had already been hooked before she was given her last hook, and somebody else had even been downed before she had even been given her last hook. Pro tip as a survivor, if you know that the killer has End Fury, do not think that they're going to respect pallets. Do not play those mind games. You lose ground and you lose health states. Thank you. Oh wow. We really are going to shift W this whole thing, huh? And as she should. Whenever she notices I'm trying to mind game a loop, she immediately doubles back and holds in a straight line to get to a safer loop. Note around that rock, she's very aware of what I can see at all times. I'm not going to insinuate she's cheating, she's just very good. Here, I leave her slugged because it's the smart thing to do. I cannot allow them to get any more pressure than they have. And I cannot hook somebody who has never been hooked. Ideally, I should be going for the Sable who has been hooked. There you go! Note that the Ada was picked up just now by the Nia, but Ada also has Unbreakable. Finally, we can have a normal match! Ada, being the one who understands Dredge counterplay the most, was not an attractive target to go to under these circumstances. So, knowing that the Nia is going to go for the unhook, I need to cut them off. The Nia, of course, knows this and doubles back when she senses I'm going to cut her off. What? You don't want to risk it if it means getting injured? You guys play way too safe. This is true. They do play way too safe. The Nia has not been hooked once, and neither has the Ada. They both could have afforded to go for this save, but they're wasting way too much time. They're not doing gens, and they're both healthy. And they're not going for the unhook. One of them needs to take this risk, and they need to take it safely. It's bad for you. Not the call I would have made. The Nia should have gone for this because the Ada's the good runner. If the Ada hadn't started this chase injured, it would have lasted a little longer. Earlier, when I mentioned nobody was doing gens, the Nia had doubled back to go do a gen. This also tells me that the Ada finally did use her Unbreakable. She had Unbreakable. No. Fire Up stops any flashlight saves from becoming really viable unless the survivor is absolutely cracked with their positioning. Yep. The trick there, the reason why I doubled back through the window, is because you don't want a survivor to loop you when they head left of a window. There is potentially an exploit around Shack where they can stop you from getting Bloodlust and turn Shack into an infinite. So, if they ever head left of a window, you want them to head right of the window. You'll see that she tries to do this multiple times. Really? She knows. What? But you just did that! I think Finesse just has way too short a cooldown. The fact that it's not an exhaustion perk by itself is a problem, in my opinion. But what do I know? It's fine. I will sincerely never understand why survivors still want blinds at dropped pallets when it won't do them any good. When it's going to be very obvious where the killer's going to go and that they're still going to be trackable because they still lost too much time. I guess it's like some sort of like, I still want to have some level of skill expression, but learning how to blind the killer at a pallet is one of the first things you learn wielding a flashlight. So, I don't know. There you go. Slugging her has to be done here, because if I don't slug her, I lose the last gen. There you go. They do this a couple times, by the way. I'm going to skip ahead just a little. They're fast, too? I don't know, man. This person's fishy. This Nia in particular is a little fishy. Now, if you look at the left side, you'll notice one of the first Angie boys has shown up. I can't really tell with this resolution which one it was, if that would at all tell me, but this is where the salt begins. Remember, kids, it's okay for you to bring the best tools possible, but it's not okay for your opponent to react in an appropriate way. GG's. Nice tunnel van, thanks. Nice map offering. Once again, me trying to mind game an Ada that just knows when to hold W to the next loop. While this is an annoying strategy, it is an effective counterplay to anti-loop killers, like Dredge. GG's. You can't have two unbreakables. This is me referring to the fact that Ada can't use Unbreakable twice unless they have Exponential. I know you don't have it, because you'd have used it. Yes, it was important to pick up the other one first. Always pick up the one you don't know if they have Unbreakable. I don't trust that. Notice they haven't DC'd yet. Yes, this is me waiting out Deliverance, just in case. But the fact that she's starting to struggle tells me that she doesn't have it. But the problem remains, the reason why I'm still not picking up Ada is I don't know if Ada has Deliverance or not. The funny thing I didn't know is that there was somebody on this team that did have Deliverance. It was the first person ever hooked. Alright, GG's. I do believe you're also still on first hook, so I don't trust that either. Okay, now I trust it. Yes, if they DC, they don't have Deliverance. They will hold out until the very end if they think there is even a modicum of a chance that they get away with this. But then again, these were also quivering crybabies, as we're about to find out, so who knows what's going through their heads. GG's. Could have had deli. These guys got the map they wanted and everything. GG's. Tunnel like a lame set. You guys used a map offering and probably brought a lot of really strong meta perks. You have no right to complain when you... Yeah, so they brought really good perks. They brought beamers. They were probably very likely on comms. At least a few of them were, because that unbreakable preservation was too calculated to play. They brought a map offering to send me here, a map that they're obviously very comfortable with, and everything they're about to say is going to unironically come from their mouths. You got everything you wanted, and I'm not even running a meta build. Like, goodness gracious, talk about entitled. You wouldn't have been happy unless it was a complete win. Hope Unbreakable, Hope Resilience, Dead Hard, Iron Will Resilience, Made for This, Unbreakable, Deliverance, don't forget the Adrenaline. You guys had everything you wanted. No perk is strong. Oh, that's the biggest cope of all. No perk is strong. I don't know if they meant in a general sense or if just what they were using, but both would be equally wrong here. There are just things that are stronger than other things, otherwise people wouldn't use them so much. It's just basic human psychology. Killers tend to use a lot of gen regression because it's strong. Survivors tend to use a lot of exhaustion perks because they're strong. That's what it is. Second chances, endurance, like exhaustion, these things are objectively strong. Now, I am going to say that they only brought 1 beamer and 2 medkits, and to be honest with you, one of these medkits was really dumb. So I'll give them that. I'll give them that they didn't bring a shit ton of super powerful meta stuff. But the map offering combined with all of this on 3 P100s, I'm inclined to believe the only one that isn't part of the group might be Sable. That's wild! That's wild! No perk is strong. Which one were you? You tunneled? Yeah! You guys brought a map offering, you were spread out, you were playing very well, and they were playing very well. They were extremely coordinated, they had everything figured out, they knew how to play against Dredge, they were very good for the most part. I mean, they had their moments, right? But they have the audacity to complain when they got the map they wanted, and they brought a bunch of super powerful perks against a non-meta killer running non-meta perks. I even brought a double blood points cake for everyone. This match couldn't have been more kind to them. No perk is strong. Which one were you? We're spread out. You were playing very well. I needed pressure. And here we have the tunnel shaming, which is like, oh, you played in a way I don't like, so you must be unskilled Dumbo. Okay, well, how was I supposed to play that? Should I have let you win? And the real answer is yes. Yes, they did want me to let them win. They just didn't want me to know that I let them win so that they could rub it in. These are the exact same kinds of people who would teabag at the exit game and then shit talk in post game. Boom! You guys did your objective efficiently. Am I not allowed to do my objective efficiently? No, because you're a killer, you stupid Dumbo. Entitlement today. I've had so many go nexters today, and then the one time I don't have them, they come in here and they cry and moan despite the fact that they got everything they wanted. This is wild. Like, oh my goodness. Me saving the footage for exactly what you're seeing. I imagine you're all very comfortable in Azeroths. They are, because it spawns more filler palettes than it should. And also, even though it's a really old map and a lot of people have had a lot of time to play on it, a point which they'll soon bring up, it's also still an extremely strong map. Ooh! There was 3 gems on the first tunnel. Are you dumb? I don't. This is completely irrelevant information. It doesn't matter how many gens are left when you start doing it. If you understand where a match is going, you have to take the appropriate actions when you need to take them. I don't care how many gens were left when I did it. You guys were doing things efficiently. You knew how to loot building, too. What, am I supposed to just take it? We didn't get everything we wanted? What didn't you get? They never answer this question. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's the last thing that they ever say. What didn't you get that you wanted? A win? What didn't you... If I'm ass, what does that make you, Envy? But what didn't you guys get that you wanted? They never answer this either. The thing is, when people call you ass when you beat them at a video game, this reflects poorly on them. I'm not going to deny that that's not my best game I've ever played, but also, that must not be the best game they've ever played too. What didn't... humor me. Humor me here. What didn't you get that you wanted? You got the map offering you wanted, you got the teammates you wanted, everybody was doing their objective efficiently, everybody knew how to loop a dredge, and yet they couldn't beat me. This must mean that on some degree they're just as ass or more than I am. It's great, honestly. What more could you have possibly asked for? You're dumb as fuck. You are being an entitled little piss baby about losing in a video game because the killer played in a way you don't like. And this is what most of these conversations boil down to. A lot of people get way too hung up on how they want the game to be played, instead of how the game is played. As a survivor, I understand that it's not fun to be tunneled by the killer. I have played Survivor, I do play Survivor, and I have been tunneled before. It's okay. It's really not the end of the world to be tunneled. And I understand that being tunneled consecutively can be really frustrating, but you have to be prepared for these sorts of things if you're playing a role that's going to subject you to these sorts of things. If the game makes you too miserable to accept these sorts of things, maybe just stop playing the game. Talk about having all of the cards you could have possibly asked for and still losing. Boy, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black. I would have won if the killer didn't play this way. The killer shouldn't play... All you know is excuses is an incredibly strange thing to say when all they've been doing this entire time is making excuses for why they lost. This way or that way, because I decided that. Ooh, I'm making excuses, am I? The killer has to play the way I want them to play. Even though we brought map offerings and really good perks. I expect the killer to just roll over and die, and the fact that he didn't is just too much. I have to go in there and go. Yes, I do openly mock them, and I will aggressively openly mock them. These people are acting extremely childishly because they lost in a video game. They deserve all of it and more. Yeah, this'll get them. Jesus, guys. I played to win, and I won. Take a walk. This is actually very valid advice. Take a walk when the game is giving you too much grief. Do some physical exertion. Do literally anything that is going to relieve your mind of these emotions. Because when you do this sort of thing, and you get this frustrated at a game that you have to send people these messages, even in their own private space, you're making a fool of yourself and you're letting your emotions control your judgment. Lord knows I'm thinking about it. You played like you was raised like a bitch. That is a completely wild and ineffectual thing to say. Like, my god. And that's about the end of the interaction. The thing is, at the end of the day, it is a video game. And I know I've stressed this again and again and again, but it is a video game. And you need to calm the fuck down even when you lose at it. I've taken long breaks from DBD before, either because I'm burned out or because I get too emotional. And it's not the end of the world to do so. Don't be like these guys. On your worst days, don't be like these guys. Go do something else for a while. Take a breather. Reevaluate the whole thing. Maybe even apologize once in a while. I have had a lot of people who come into my chat and will do anything except admit they're wrong. There was one person who accused me of this or that during the match, and then when I physically proved him wrong, he still said, whatever, you're right, I'm wrong, and then just walks away. People don't like admitting they're wrong in this sort of case because they'll think they're stupid if they admit they're wrong. Being wrong is not the same as being stupid. Sometimes it just is what it is. I'm sure I was wrong a good deal of times before, especially even recounting this match. There were a couple of cases where I rethought maybe that wasn't the person I thought it was, but I'm positive I had the hook stakes. Anyways, this has just been me delivering to you a fun little treat about a bunch of entitled little survivors. It's not the most thought-provoking content, but maybe it's some food for thought on emotional reflection. Thank you all for watching, if indeed you still are, and be good people. Have a good day.